Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. So today, of course, one of our main objectives is going to be to use every last sigil we have for the monk event. Of course, yesterday we ended up getting the monk hero class. Pretty decent hero class with a lot of immunities. Doesn't get its full potential until 100, though it does get a lot of its potential by 70, like many hero classes do. But main goal will be to make that number 0 and go make top 50 on Leaderboard, because that amount of battles should definitely give us top 50. I don't believe we're going to be able to hit top 20 with that, nor will we really be aiming for it. But as long as we maintain top 100, top 50, that'll be great. We'll end up getting an orb out of it and a little bit of our gems back. Obviously not much. We spent 2,850 gems on this event. However, the main loot from the event was more so the class XP than anything. But anyways, gonna go and get those battles down. As far as the team we've been using, Double Yagwe Tulio with Essence of Evil has been working really well. Monkey's a little bit slower with it. However, the benefit of that, of course, is we get to gain 2 monkey XP every single battle. And of course, we got the leprechaun icons in the game now, finally. I'm surprised they didn't do that yesterday, given that the leprechaun was already out as a drop in battles. But yeah, that's been added. And St. Patrick's Day, I believe, is the 17th of this year. So that's right around the corner. Also, stream might be a little bit shorter just because I have such a ridiculously big headache right now. I'm not sure why or what on earth it's from. But like, since I've woken up, I've had a headache and it just hasn't gone away. Hopefully it will by later today. Sure hope it does. I haven't gotten headaches for a while. Oh yeah, you have stealth. No, you don't. Never mind, you don't have stealthy. I can just target that directly, get disabled. Go from there and then just Yagwe to Yagwe. Be good to go. Please leave us alignment. Yeah, there we go. We won. We do that, dead. Oh, it actually died to burning, oddly enough. Let's see. Also, hello everyone. They would say hello. Hope all of you have been having a wonderful weekend. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, 04. Hello, Paul. Hello, Birdleaf. Birdleaf. Hello, Antiton. Let's see. Hello, Stardium's Cats. Hello, Juniper. Hello, Analyst. Hello, Ricardo. Hello, Lolar Lagoot. And hello, Jefferson. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Just reading through the questions. How's it going? Pretty well. Will you do the what event? Or what event? Oh, we're mostly doing the monk event right now in order to go and make a leaderboard for it, so we get some of our gems back and get at least 1 orb out of it. Get some amount of value. If it ends up hitting on a purple or a blue, particularly a blue, that's going to be at least a decent amount of our value back, if nothing else. Blue orb's pretty good. Oh, war event. No, we'll be doing the war event tonight. We always save it for the nightly stream. This one's mostly focusing on the weekend event for now. Which, next weekend is going to be our first ever Invasion weekend event. Obviously, it's an event we already had before. However, it'll be the first time it's specifically on the weekend, because next Monday is our first ever new event. I'm probably just going to call it the lore event. But, yeah, this Monday is going to be the first ever time we're going to be getting that. It was introduced in version 4.8, and that's like the biggest thing that ends up coming in version 4.8 is this new adaptive event. I'll be going over in depth on Monday, as well as every Monday it ever occurs, because unlike past events where I could kind of go over it once or several times and we'll kind of be good to go, this event actually changes every single week, so going to be kind of odd, given that it has the highest amount of diversity of any events that they've ever implemented so far. It'll be interesting to see how that ends up panning out. So that reminds me, I'm currently using the wrong metals right now, aren't I? I believe I'm using pure armor. I was wondering why that stat was so high. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I'm on pure armor right now. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, we need 20% into magic. Oops, why am I doing that for? I forgot, we have slots now. There we go. 20% into 8 magic. Exactly what we're looking for. And I'm back to the event. You made 5-0 against your guild? Nice. Oh, that'll be interesting if I'm actually up against you. Though we can't see all the way forward. We can only see your current battle. We can't see what all 5 of them will be person-wise. But yeah, it's Brown Guild War Day. I'm not sure if I'm going to revamp my Brown for later today. Like, what I already have would work, but I'm not sure. We might revamp it. It's good against Yagwe Queen of Tanya, what I'm running right now. And I feel like that's really popular for Brown Day. It's the whole reason why I run it. Oh, we got a problem right now. That's not enough to kill, is it? That's problematic. Don't you dare escape. Good. So far, we've had 2 Valravens try to escape. Neither actually did so far. They're pretty lucky in that regard. 2 30%, neither triggered. Yeah, so far we're flawless on score right now. For the amount of packs that we bought. Though it is a bit easier having this much higher stats with all the potion effects. Feels weird having potion effects during a class event, because normally I don't, obviously. But when we buy up that far, we definitely do. This is one of the only few class events I've ever even had it for. Because back when I was buying a lot of the other ones, I don't think potions even existed at the time. When I used to buy it a little bit more frequently than I do now. Now this was like the first time we've done it in like 6 months, if not longer. It's been a very long time. Even longer than that, since we've bothered spending anything towards a class event. They're generally pretty bad value. But I wanted to get this newer class upgraded. If nothing else, it allows us to do the Friday video quicker. Since we can actually do it on Friday rather than like multiple days after the fact. Because I generally like to have the hero class at least 70 before I do a video for it, as most hero classes get most of their potential by 70. Not all of them. Like this one gains quite a bit of a benefit more once it gets to 100. But a good majority of them are at least like, you can kind of show like the premise of the team by the time they reach 70. And most of them have an important trait on the 70th that they need to have in order to function fully. Thank you for that, Bill. Greatly appreciated. What is my Guild War team? The Guild War team I'm likely going to be using today is Mountain Crusher. It was Mountain Crusher, Quentin, Templar, and Wild Queen was the team I'm going to be using. A little bit weird using Templar, but a hard counter is Yagwe and Queen of Tanya, which was the main reason for bringing it on this day. Because I feel like upwards of 50% of the teams that get used on this day use Tapon into a Yagwe Queen of Tanya team. It is extremely common. Like, I'm almost guaranteed that if we go check the battle right now, it is going to be a version of Yagwe Queen of Tanya with Tapon. It might not be the exact meta, but if I go check it right now, there's almost a guaranteed chance that that is what it is. Actually, I should go do that after this battle just to see. But I'm almost guaranteed that is what it is, as it's the most popular team currently for Red Guild War. I mean, for Brown Guild War, I mean. For Defend. We don't have good alignment here. But I kind of want to kill it while it still has a thing, but I also want Skull, so we'll do that. And it should kill. There we go. Also, I said burning earlier. It actually died to the 3 life steal off of Yagwe. It wasn't from burning. Hey, let's see. Is this a Yagwe Queen of Tanya Tapon team? Or at least something with Tapon that's kind of premised around it. Probably. Yep. Exactly so. Except Flame of Furs you normally use in first. A little bit weird that it isn't. I guess it wanted to scrap its mana generator first. But yeah, normally the order you do it in is Flamerfur, Yagwe, Tapon, Queen of Tanya. Interesting. So when we do this battle, we're going to want to rush down his first slot then, so we can't deny our browns. Anyways. Let's head back to the grind. Over to Monk. Fight, fight. Oh yeah, this hero class is really good. I honestly would place it about second and best in the entire game. It does need to be fully traded to actually fully realize the second best in the entire game. Otherwise, it's a little bit above mid. But the biggest benefit it has is having immune to stun while having the highest amount of immunities of any class in the game while having cleanse on extra turn. It is the most immune hero class in the entire game to status effects, which is very relevant against battles where that's a factor, like freeze, like entangle spam if you're using a skull team, or any kind of annoying status effect just in general. There's a lot of potential against it. And of course, barrier every brown into agile is a great combo. And of course, you can feed it a bunch of mana, even if it's blocked. Simply taking extra turns will feed it mana. And if you are using it more towards the last slot, though you would normally use it in like first or second. But you could trade out the barrier every brown for submerge and protect your team that way. Okay, we're gonna need 2 hits, so we'll just do that. Get a green here, hit it again, and that should be dead. Only problem is we need a little bit more mana. Don't you dare escape, and there we go. Yeah, Monk's a decent amount of fun. It reminds me a lot of Sentinel hero class. Slightly slower, but really good at not losing. Which is great as a Guild War option. Though I would wait until you get it max before using it for Guild War. I would not bother using it for Guild War this week, though you could try. Because a lot of people probably don't have it maxed yet. Including myself. Takes a long time, of course. If you're to grind it all manually, it takes like 29 hours or so. 28, 29. And that's assuming the quickest rate in the game as well. Actually, absolute quickest rate in the game, I believe you could almost get down to like 25 hours. But realistically, you're not going to be able to consistently keep up that rate the entire time. Just because you might get distracted by other things or just normal factors that would make it not be able to maintain the entire time. Because that's a long time to focus for, 25 hours. Without messing up. Obviously it doesn't have to be consecutively though. What was the Phoenicia Explore team that you had mentioned in the past? It is anything in first slot with hero, as long as it has a red storm, followed by Phoenicia, Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen. The weapon you would most likely want to be a color that does not block Phoenicia. That can help clean up the battle. I believe I use Withering Staff, but if I'm not mistaken, that's an old event weapon that you might not have. But any kind of weapon that has no mana conflict with Phoenicia that you can use to clean up the battle is what you would use for that. But yeah, it's this team right here. It's, where do I have it saved these days? I have it saved in like 2 locations. One of them's down here. But yeah, it's Phoenicia, Withering Staff, Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen is the team. But this you can replace with any weapon in the entire game. You can also put it in front of your Phoenicia if you want. Actually, I'm not sure why I don't have it there. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. She's not really going to die in Explore 5. That's very unlikely to happen. Obviously, if you're doing a harder battle where she's casting multiple times, you'd probably want to have it in front. But yeah, it's a team. Leprechaun's to get mana. Mirage Queen's to half mana her. Then you just get her up nearly instantly, or instantly. Then you cast her, and then you win. Most important part is that you do use a hero class that has Red Storm. Doesn't matter which one, but as long as it has a Red Storm at start a battle. However, if you're doing it where you're going to need to cast her multiple times, you should always use her with Sunspear. Now that Sunspear has been unnerfed back to what it originally was, and having Perpetual Red Storm every single time. So that's pretty nice. Does the team work on Explore 12? No, it does not. I'm not sure what Explore it works up to. Explore 5 is the most optimal, and Explore 6 if you have enough damage to instantly kill it. But I'm not sure where you would really go. Whatever Explore you could go up to where it could still double hit would be the high you should be able to do. I wouldn't really advise that compared to single hitting, though. You know, anytime you really tend to use her for double hitting is pet battles, if you're going to use her for that, as well as Guild Wars, if you're going to use her in some kind of competition for Guild Wars, for like a red Guild War day. I don't think there's anything else where you'd bother doing that for. I know, they buff nerfed it, and then they reverted it back. That's, I believe, the first time ever where a troop was changed, and then immediately brought back to what it was. Or, you know, almost immediately. It took a few days, but, I don't recall any other time in Gems of War history where that actually happened. Where they make a change to a troop, and then within less than a week, they bring it back to exactly the same thing. They've done it kind of like that, where they've buffed or nerfed a troop, and then did the inverse to it, but in a different way. Not the reverting it exactly back. But I'm pretty sure that's the first time in the game's history where it literally just got reverted back to exactly the same thing, rather than something slightly different. Very weird. That community outrage is real. Yeah, that was probably like the most controversial thing that has happened, nerf-wise ever. Which is why I got reverted back. Because that was the whole reason you would ever use Sunspear, was for the Perpetual Red Storm. Like, that's 90% the reason you pretty much use Sunspear. The other 10% is because it has, it's an okay triple damage troop, and it also has, Entangle Freeze at start of battle. Those are like the only 3 aspects that it has going for it. But the good majority of it is the fact that it has Perpetual Redstorm, as almost every team that's built around it is built around Perpetual Redstorm. Okay, that's not enough to kill there. Well, we could actually essence it and then kill. That'll work. So we did that. 50% additional damage, dead. Easy as that. There was an actual ride on the forum, pretty much. I wonder what global chat was like during that time. I didn't actually check global during the time. I could only imagine. What do we even grab here? Let's go for Yagway. I hate when we have no Yagway alignment. Like, we had the triple there, but obviously that's not an extra turn. Oh, I should grab the yellow first. I didn't do it because I saw we already had full mana next turn, so I wasn't paying attention to yellow. Because she already would have had it, even if we didn't take the yellow. Okay, what do we even want to go for here? Go for that for now. That'll just kill itself on Reflect. And that's match. Easy as that. Wish you had a Yagway. If you buy up the event shop some, he does have a chance of dropping, though do keep in mind the chance isn't like excessively high. I'm actually not even sure what the chance is because they don't have like a drop table anywhere for it. But I believe it's between like a glory key and a gem key. But he's actually in this drop table right now, if you happen to get lucky enough to randomly get him. I've heard people spend like 1,000 or 2,000 and not get him, so it is possible. I definitely got at least 2 copies when I bought up to 2,850. But obviously that's quite a bit of gems to spend just to get a Yagway. But he's definitely a nice troop to have. He's used for a lot, particularly Red Guild War Day. He's also a great bounty troop if you're still running 3 bounty troops into a single other troop, as Yagway still works as the best one other troop. I personally just run with 4 bounties now that stats are high enough where you can just pretty much always run 4 bounties. Or not pretty much, literally always run 4 bounties now. But depending on what your stat lines are, you would still need to go and use an actual real troop rather than 4 bounties. Just because doing 4 bounties with lower stats is relatively hard. It's possible, but it's normally too annoying to bother with until you reach later into the game. But he's only recently got enough stats. Like many things, the biggest thing that ended up making it go over the edge to actually have enough stats was the introduction of metals into the game. Oh, what's the brown thing on Yagway? This thing in the corner is elite levels. Elite levels is something that you can do to a troop that came in around October of last year, so pretty recently, about 5 months ago. And basically what they are is once you have a troop, level 20, mythic, and all traits, you can now use medals on it, corresponding with its rarity, or similar rarity, in order to go and upgrade the troop. And it gains a little bit of extra stats from doing so. It isn't like anything exceptionally game-breaking, but you get a little bit extra stats from doing so. Very few people have higher rarity things upgraded, like many legends or mythics. But I did go for Yagway first. So you will see in every single one of my battles I will have the effect. And you might see it in quite a few of your own battles if you're later in the game, just because Yagway is one of the better values to put him into. I would say Yagway and Queen of Tanya are probably the 2 biggest legends that gain benefit from being fully medaled. There are quite a few lower rarity troops you probably see it on a bit more often, as they are a lot easier to upgrade than that of higher rarity troops. But yeah, it's basically just like post-level 20 leveling, essentially, is what those are. You don't really need to worry about it until way later into the game. What would you call it? They're called elite levels, is what their actual name is called in the game. And there's bronze, silver, and gold. That's what gold looks like. The little icon thing gets bigger, as well as it's just changing coloration some. Just a small cosmetic thing in the corner. But it does give them slightly extra stats. I believe we're getting a little bit extra magic, HP, and attack, if I'm not mistaken, from our setup. Every single one has a different one depending on what its role is. Whole day yesterday and today doing Explore 12, and he didn't get a single Nisha from it. That sounds about right. I haven't gotten a Nisha for a very, very long time. I can't even remember last time I got a Nisha. I also haven't been too actively going out of my way to get Nishas, but still, that doesn't change the fact that still haven't really been getting any. But I do need to go do more Explore 12 farming into the future. I keep doing so much hero class leveling because I want to get them all done already, but seems like it keeps going further and further away. But luckily, with the amount of resources that we put towards this event, we should be a little bit closer now. Because instead of having a whole new hero class to have to go max out, we now have a lot less because we end up buying half of the hero class to max immediately. So that will help us a little bit, if nothing else. But I still have like, I believe it's almost 100 hours, 90 to 100 hours of hero class grinding to go until we max it all out. I feel like that number barely ever goes down. However, we are only getting one more hero class added to the game. So I'm not sure what they're doing after the fact. Next patch might address it. But as of late April, we will have every hero class in the game. One for every single kingdom. So we don't really know what they're doing after that. Obviously, some kind of new event will probably come in to take its place. But as it currently stands, we don't currently know what it is. But time will tell. Which would make it a lot easier to finally max out these hero classes. Because if they're not going to be doing anything that's going to require more hero class grind, it's obviously going to make it quite a bit easier to go and get the hero class maxed, as we will no longer need to go and get a new one maxed every single month. Which means, assuming nothing changes with how hero classes are, I should probably have every hero class maxed by the end of May or sometime in June. One of those two, we should have every hero class in the game maxed. Unless they're going to be doing something to change up hero classes in some way. Which they might be into the future. There still is an expected hero class patch coming into the future. That'll likely be expanding hero classes in some way, as well as rebalancing them, now that every single hero class is in the game. And obviously a lot of them are very dated. When that is happening we do not know, but it is something likely to happen. They made mention of it before, but it hasn't been confirmed for any kind of time yet. Hello, Aid Warrior. Welcome. I don't think they would do Underworld classes, but you never know. It doesn't seem like something they would do, though. Do you think the would add more kingdoms in the future? Yes, they did make mention that they might eventually add more kingdoms to the future. As it currently stands, we have yet to get a kingdom in a year and a half at this point. The last kingdom was Sinner Mirage a year and a half ago. It was August a year and a half ago. Is the last time we ended up getting a kingdom. So that's August of 2018 was the last time we got a kingdom. So it's been quite a while. It used to be a thing that used to occur every few months in the game. And it was a pretty hyped event because we didn't have factions or anything at the time. So these kingdoms coming in were like really big like events in the game. Like really, really massive compared to most of the other things that we would normally have going on. The entire game's gem economy was also based around it, whereas now they're based more so on events rather than on new kingdoms being introduced to the game. But yeah, they used to be pretty hype. Unfortunately, we don't get any new ones, but they did mention they might eventually add more. But they don't want to add too many more. And if they were to add more, they would do it based on something really specific. Like if they ever did localization into another language or something like that. But you never know. It's still a possibility, but very unlikely anytime soon. Oh no. Our perfect score. We're almost losing it. We die in 2 hits. Gotta be careful. Let's just Essence of Evil so it can't hit us in anything, and then kill it with a Yagua. There we go. We almost lost a point. Not like it would matter much. But we'd ruin our Flawless if we died, even a single time. How do you max your team power? It's been stuck at 13,000 for a long time. Are you doing something wrong? No. You shouldn't really be trying to really max out your team power. It's based on quite a few factors. Some of them include... Well, technically it's impossible to ever really max it because it increases based on your hero level. So if you have a slightly higher hero level, your team score will automatically get slightly higher as well. The main thing that ends up affecting it probably the most that you might not have done is all of the upgrades within the game, so having higher stats. So things like level 10 all kingdoms, level 15 all kingdoms, getting 5-star all kingdoms, 10-star all kingdoms, the eventual 20-star all kingdoms, the underworld stats, the stats that you get from completing out your guild. All those end up increasing your team score, as one of the things that contribute to your team score is your total amount of stats. Sorry, Neil, what was your question? Did you see the next Mythic spoiler? No, I have not. I guess we'll go check it right now. Why not? I've not looked at the new Mythic yet. Let me go bring it up. One moment. Let's go find it. What am I looking for? Go to Terran's World. Troops. Okay, what's the next mythic? Mythic. There it is. That's the next one, right? Yeah, it should be. Okay, so what is this? So it's for Stormheim. That's already good. Is it a giant? It better be. No, it's an elemental fae. How unfortunate. So we don't get to do that with giant synergy with Titan. So that's already one thing going against this thing. Let's see. He gets to deal magic +3 splash damage to 1 to 4 random enemies. Interesting. Kind of like an Aquaticus, but a lot more random. Then jumble the board and gain an... Oh, no! It gains extra turn. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Oh, it also gets to enchant all allies on 4 times, 5 times. Ooh. That has potential. Blue, yellow, brown. I wish it was a giant so badly. It's Fey Elemental. Oh, it's Elemental, though. We can use it with Mirage Queen. Also, why on earth does Divine Ishbala still give 40% when Mirage Queen is the most meta thing in the entire game for mana start? I still don't understand that. They really need to buff Divine Ishbala back. Similar to what happened with Sun Spirit, they need to go revert Divine Ishbala back to what it was. But, yeah, that thing's going to be insane. Yeah, it's kind of like Wisp on steroids in a way. Except it's completely different colors. Wisp was red, purple. This thing's blue, yellow, brown. Though you could use them together. You could use Wisp plus Mistralis? Mistralis, I believe is what it is. But you could use them both together. They actually have 0 mana conflict with each other, oddly enough. Rather interesting. Can I suggest a team with Yagwe? You're at round 4 and already struggling. You can do it with Mang into Yagwe and do it that way. Use Titan with Mang and just run it all with Mang and use Yagwe's backup mana accumulation and for pokes. I know she's compensating after Will of Nisha, but yeah, that's pretty solid. On average, we can assume it's going to hit at least 2 enemies. That's pretty much already the damage of Infernus, like very similar damage to that of Infernus. It doesn't have any explosion, but it gets to jumble the board, which could give you extra turns. And then it gains automatic extra turn. It does not have immune to freeze or anything, though, so it is going to be bad against freeze. And it doesn't have any kind of board clear, so it gets a lot less value if it is frozen. But, yeah, it seems like it's pretty good. 4 times enchant alone is going to be viable enough to use it. Like, even if its ability was completely awful, 4 times enchant is a really solid mechanic. Not the best of the 4 times that you could possibly get, but it's decent. It's basically 8 mana per turn for your entire team. The only thing that's a little bit weird about it is it doesn't really benefit you much when you extra turn spam. But aside from that, it should be pretty good. It also allows things to re-enchant right after doing their ability. Like Yagwe, for example, if he hit an extra turn, boom, he would automatically be re-enchanted if he didn't already get full mana. So for things like that, it's going to be pretty nice. Particularly with higher mana cost troops or things that are blocked. I'm not sure if he had really blocked much on the team that would use her, though. Seems like she might be good with a couple of the other Infernus-like troops, too. Because she's basically one of the Infernus-like troops. Not exactly, though. She's distinct enough that I'm not sure if I'd really consider her as one. But she does have that whole do multi-splash damage kind of mechanic. If nothing else, which would synergize into itself. The splash damage synergizes pretty well with splash damage. Mostly because it allows your entire team to bypass things like Submerge. And also not be as affected by things like Barrier. Hello, Cookie! Welcome! Is there a way to see what changes were made to units after a patch? Yes, the Gems of War forum. Gems of War forum, link's actually in description. The 4.8 changelog in the description of the stream right now has all the info on version 4.8. So just check that out, and that has all the info on it right there. It's a little bit buried down because it goes over all the actual changes, or, you know, all the other changes, not the things other than just the troop changes. There wasn't really much for troops, though, other than Sun Spirit getting completely obliterated and then getting reverted back almost immediately. Well, we got 22 to go, which means we have like 40 to go because of how much extra sigils we end up getting along the way. But we're getting to top 50. Once we hit top 50 again, we'll hand out redeem code. Oh, that's actually pretty soon. Let's see. Oh, that's sooner than I thought. Because we're actually going to get it in 6 battles. Well, I'll still do it. Yeah, 6 more battles will end up giving us top 50 again. And then we'll use the rest of our battles. Gosh, I still have such a headache, though. I don't know. What do you do for headaches? I haven't had one in ages. What are we even supposed to do for them? It just does not want to go away today. It's only on like the left side of my head too, not even on my right. Maybe I did too much math. Let's see. Take that for now. Oh, I can actually turn just sitting there. Grab that. Get a Yagway down. How many top packs did you buy for Monk? I spent 2,850 gems. It cost 1,350 to get to 6, and I bought 3 of the final pack. So 3, to answer your question. We can also see that by seeing how many stats we have here. Once it gets around, you can see our potion effect should be 21, which means we bought it 3 times. Which costs 2,850 total gems, which is definitely not worth it. But for people that have more gems than they know what to do with, it's okay value. It's not really advised, though. But if you have a lot of excess gems, it's worth considering. You get Yagway as a drop, most likely. You have, you'll end up getting Monk upgraded and actually be able to use it in a timely fashion. Stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised if some people just bought so many packs that they could get to 100 so they could use it for Guild War this week. There's some amount of people that did that. I didn't do it that hard, though. It would have cost us another 3,000 gems to have done that. Which I was not going to do. That's a bit expensive. Spending 5,800, or sorry, it would cost 5,850 gems to go all the way from 0 to 100 immediately. That is very expensive. Even with our seemingly endless stack of gems, that is still extremely expensive to go out of our way for. Unless it was like a Titan level good. And while this is very similar to it, it is no Titan. Because it lacks the speed of Titan. It has a lot more safety than Titan, but it lacks the speed. This class is great at not losing. Is the biggest gimmick that it probably has. Everything about it is really good at not losing. You have a way to back up mana accumulate even if you're blocked on everything. You have % chance that you just dodge randomly. You have the most immunities in the game. You have Cleanse, you have Freeze at start a battle, you have, or Stun instead. You have, Barrier every brown. You have so many mechanics that just help you not die. Or to make comebacks. Which is the biggest thing that that thing has going for it. We can just leave all that there. Throw another Yagway down. Also, thank you, Damon, for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciated. Helps out a lot. Also, I think we almost have enough supporters to go do another emoji soon, too. I'm still not sure what I want to do for it. We still need to get custom ones made, too, eventually. That or get good enough to make our own, but I'll probably just commission a bunch of them. I still have some money stuck in Fiverr that I haven't found anything to do with, so probably just find someone half decent on Fiverr. But that is really hard to do. There are so many scams on Fiverr. I've tried like 3 different times, and like every single time it's like, oh, it all failed through. I have never seen anywhere that is so hard to commission someone ever in my life. It feels like almost every single person there is a scammer or really low skill relative to their cost. Let's see. We'll take that for now. Grab that on green. Oh, yeah, she skipped over a battle. Didn't even see we skipped over Corvesh. Let's see. Imagine Monk introduced to the game before nerf gem spawn. 3 mana for each 4 to 5 times match on the board. Oh, yeah, he'd be insane if it was pre-nerf gem spawn. Gem spawn at one point in the game used to be the most strongest mechanic. But then it basically became double converts. For 2 reasons. As we got more double converts, the double convert synergy became better over time. And it still increasingly gets better. Quentin was the most recent double convert that we got a little over a month ago. I think it was a month and a half at this point. But those just keep increasingly getting stronger with better synergies. But the other thing they ended up doing is just a higher consistency that almost every other mechanic has compared to gem spawn. They end up nerfing how it spawns gem to the board, spawn to the board, to such a degree that gem spawns are almost never really used in the game right now, unless you're doing a specific color, in which case it's a little bit more consistent. But double gem spawns in particular got completely obliterated, and this was mostly because of things like Justice. Justice at one point was the most meta thing in the entire game about 3 years ago or so, and it was very broken at the time. And for that reason, they need to find a way to kind of like balance it out without completely, you know, like nerfing the troops. So instead, they completely nerfed how gem spawning worked. And anything that has a double gem spawn is almost completely useless in the current state of the game due to that reason, unless they're doing a really hefty amount. Single gem spawns also got nerfed, however, they're a bit more consistent given that they do all of the same color, so it's a little bit easier to get overlap on them compared to before. But yeah, gem spawns used to work a lot differently than they do now, but they got changed pretty drastically 2 to 3 years ago. And they haven't been changed since, so they've been kind of pretty underwhelming since other mechanics have become much bigger and more consistent, like converts, particularly double converts, but single converts too, like Yagway and such. I'll take that over, because you know exactly what's going to happen with it. Like, we know that we're going to get a 3 there, and a 3 there, and he'll get a skull. Like, we already know what's going to happen. With things like gem spawns, not only is their chance of missing greatly increased compared to before, but they also have a lot more unpredictability compared to that of other mechanics. How to be pro in Gems of War. There are a few guides related to that I have been meaning to get around to. One that I still been meaning to do that I really need to go do either today or tomorrow, definitely by tomorrow, is I still have the best teams of last year video, all of which are still relevant to the current meta of the game, that I still been meaning to get out. I have the teams there for like a month now and I still haven't recorded the video. I need to do that. Definitely need to. I'm pretty decent at staying up to date with, you know, like new things that come in, but anytime I want to like do a guide, I feel like I've been not on top of it as much lately. I need to be. Especially with the increased amount of people stuck at home because of coronavirus. Actually, how many of you guys are still working, by the way? Like at a natural place because of coronavirus? Because I feel like a lot of people, particularly by me, given that this is a really tourist-based area, are like not losing their jobs, but they're like all shutting down for a while just because of coronavirus. Because the area that I'm in South Carolina is extremely tourist-based, so if there's no traveling happening or very minimal of it, the whole economy of this area just tanks. Oh, sorry, Mobarashi, what was your question? Let's see. Can you estimate how many gems we have to spend to get 3 medals of seasons? I can't really estimate, mostly because they have yet to confirm the cost. Estimating it based on the beta, I believe you'd have to spend around 4,000 or so. It was like 3,000 or 4,000. However, do keep in mind this was based on the final pack costing 500 for 1, and there's a good chance it'll be removed or it will be reduced to 200 for 1. But we don't know what the final gem costs are. But yeah, it was 500 for 1 single one if you wanted to mass buy it, which is excessively expensive. Though you get plenty more up to that point. I believe you got like 9 up to that point, though that number could be tweaked. And I think you got about 8 or 9 through doing the event itself, which would be about 2 if you bought all the packs. But getting that 3rd one will be a little hard, at which point you might just want to run 2 and just do 20% with it or something. But again, we don't know the cost, so I can't even really guesstimate it. But I believe based on the beta, it was around 3,000 to 4,000, somewhere in that general ballpark, for how much it would cost to have 3 medals of seasons immediately. I think it was closer to 4,000. Definitely wasn't cheap. Might even been a little bit higher than 4,000. It really depends what they make the final pack worth, and how many you can get up to that point, both of which has yet to be confirmed how many. We won't know until Monday how many they give. And whatever it is on Monday, while the event itself might change up a lot, the actual reward for the event will pretty much be the same every single time. So once we see the data on Monday, we'll kind of know exactly what it will be into all future events. However, until we see it, we don't really know for sure. Any guess I have could be literal thousands off depending on how they price the final pack and how many they have going through. But yeah, I do advise going for 2 and not 3. I believe it'll be ultra expensive to try to go for 3 for this first event, but I believe it'll be reasonably priced to go for 2. Let's see. But I'm not 100% certain. We'll find out. There's a good chance they might revamp it. But only time will tell. Any info on the event? Yes, we actually already know what it is. It's a Groshnok event. You're going to be restricted to Groshnok troops. I believe it's either Groshnok orcs or just anything in Groshnok. I forget which one it was. Because they actually previewed this event already. And other than that, we're going to basically have to kill a bunch of things that are Groshnok related. And we'll end up getting 2 different drops. Bones? 2 different bones. One of them's worth like 1 point, and the other one's worth like 10 points or something. I think it's like bones and skulls. The skulls being worth the 10s. And basically, I'm not sure exactly what determines what rarity of thing you get. Like if you get a thing, or if it's just random, or how exactly that goes. But yeah, you basically just kill a bunch of things with a relatively Groshnok related team against other Groshnok things. You'll get a bunch of attack medals that can boost you. That'll give you additional skull damage. And yeah, you just kind of skull spam like crazy. You'll have access to Mang in this event. One thing to note about these events is the restriction will apply to weapons. However, it is Groshnok, so you do have access to Mang, you do have access to Earth's Fury. You do have access to a lot of things that would just naturally be really good in these kind of game modes. However, do be mindful that a lot of these future events related to this, while this first one does have access to it, will not. Like in most future events, you will not have access to Mang or other similar really good options. You won't have access to Essence of Evil in most situations. You won't have access to Mountain Crusher in many of these instances. And a lot of things like that. Because whatever the restriction is for the troops applies to your hero weapon. So if you're only allowed to use red, your hero weapon has to be red. If you're only allowed to use Groshnok, you're only allowed to use Groshnok weapons, and so on and so forth, based on whatever the restrictions are. I'm not sure if that... I don't believe that restriction applies to hero class, though, oddly enough. But it does apply to weapon. So, for example, I believe you are allowed to go with like Titan hero class or something, rather than using the Groshnok one. Also, I just realized my chat still isn't working. Why? Why must it be like this? I'm not sure why, but it likes to not work as of yesterday. There we go. Let's hope that works. That's a lot of chat. Okay, hopefully it's working now. I'm not sure why that fixes it, but it does. All I did was change the dimension by 1, and it just magically works. Hopefully it's actually working now, rather than just updating. Oh, sorry, what was Damon's question? My bad. What else did I skip? How many Orbs of Power can you craft? Well, you need to have 8 for Zugoff. As far as how many I have the resources to, I believe I only have enough to craft 1 right now. Of course, I used 8 of them, or I crafted 8 of them in the past to get a Zugoff, but I haven't really been going out of my way to collect them. Do you prefer Gems of War from 3 years ago or now? Probably now, just because there's more things to do. Though the meta was probably... Actually, what even was the meta 3 years ago? I'm not sure exactly. But no, I'd probably say I'd prefer the game now. There's just a lot more to do compared to then. Because back like 4 or 5 years ago, and even 3 years ago, you could kind of run out of things to do at given points because there was nothing to infinitely grind as much. Whereas now there's definitely plenty of things to do once you've already completed out everything. Plus we have like designated dailies now. Back then we didn't really have any kind of direction from day to day. We had very few things that we necessarily needed to do because we didn't have daily tasks. We didn't really have the old event system. Wasn't even in the game at that point 3 years ago. So anything you kind of did was your guild related events and whatever other few things. I think dungeons might have existed by then in Soulforge, but you didn't really have as many daily objectives compared to before. So you kind of just played or didn't play, but you could go like days on end without playing before and not really get any reduction in loot just because there wasn't really any dailies and such for the most part. Whereas now there's obviously plenty that you can be doing on a daily basis. Which is probably one of the bigger differences. And the fact that the way that troops interact are quite a bit different. Because they have higher stats, different traits, and more mechanics just in general. That ends up influencing it. Not to mention, as more and more troops come into the game, the amount of combinations in the game becomes increasingly higher. Oh, sorry, Damon. Let me go to your question. Are any delves beatable outside of faction events? No potions, yes. Crypt is the easiest one, though still very difficult. Main reason for this is because of instant kill. The other one that you can do is, what's it called? Stormsong Airy, for the same reason. It has instant kill. However, the absolute easiest, though still very difficult, delve to complete to 500 pure faction with no potions is Crypt. And you just have to get very, very lucky off of multiple Yagwe casts. Or, Yagwe. What's his name? I forget its name. The thing that has instant kill from that place. Why did I forget its name? I know what it is, exactly. I can't remember its name, though. Phil, 1 second. That'll bother me now. But there's the instant kill troop there that basically carries the entire thing. You run with 3 of it with Graveseer. I remember Graveseer. Why can I not remember the other thing? Let's see. Did it begin with MA? Pretty sure it did. Let's see. It has 65% score reduction. Oh yeah, typing that in probably wouldn't do that though. 65%. There it is. Lady Mirana. That's the one I'm looking for. But yeah, Lady Mirana, triple Lady Mirana with Graveseer is what you run. A Graveseer create purple, which you don't actually mana generate into. However, the reason you do it is to counter out the enemy's Graveseer, and also because this thing boost ratios based on how many purples are on the board. So it's 10% instant kill with an additional 2% per purple. More often than not, you're going to have probably about 10 purple, given that you have Graveseer and everything on the board. So that's all about a 30% chance or so that it would end up instant killing per attack. And basically, you just use its really high score reduction, use its attack reduction that it has, and hope you just randomly get lucky enough to instant kill 12 times in a row before you end up losing your entire team. Because obviously you have 3 battles, in which you have to kill 4 troops each time. But yeah, that's the easiest to do without potion effects. However, still very difficult. I think it took me almost a month of attempts to get it done when I ended up doing it without potions, because potions didn't even exist at the time when I ended up doing them. But yeah, I would say it's the easiest to do without potions. Still a bit difficult though. All of them are difficult. And if you level all your kingdoms to power level 10, how many gems a day do you get? Depends how many times you take tribute, but I believe if you have every single kingdom at level 9, you would be getting a tribute of about 8 to 9 per day. I believe it's a bit closer to 8, but like somewhere from 8 to 10. Or sorry, not per day, but per tribute that you take. So if you take, let's say, 10 tributes a day, and let's just say it's 8, you'd get 80 gems per day approximately. But yeah, somewhere from 8 to 10 with base 9, if you have them across all of them, because you gain a good majority of the effect once you gain 9. The only thing you really gain beyond that is a little bit extra percents here and there. But a good bulk of your tribute is earned once you have level 9 all kingdom. And then once you're already at 9, if you can get the mythic for the kingdom, you can get it to 10 for extra stats too, which helps throughout the game. Obviously, that doesn't help from a resource perspective, but it does help with many various game modes, and might help you win quicker in various locations, which technically translate to resources. What troop do you recommend spending medals on for elite levels? I did a video on it a little while back, going over the best 4 to do per rarity. For commons, you tend to do Guardian troops as well as Egg, mostly because Egg Thief summons Egg, and it's a really good summon. For rares, you tend to do almost exclusively Bounty Hunter troops or mana generation utility, but mostly Bounty Hunter troops, the one that you're planning on actually using for your various events. For ultra rare, you tend to do mana accumulation methods, so like Leprechaun, Apothecary, things that you're going to probably be using as in higher level teams, just so they don't die as easily in higher level content, while still being able to function as a good mana generator. And epics, the main epic I would probably say is worth going for is something like Gargoyle or Rowan. Rowan just because it's used so much, even though it doesn't gain too big of a benefit, and Gargoyle because it gains a really good benefit from the perk that it gets. Legends would be Yagwe and Queen Titania. Which one you do first depends on preference. I personally went for Yagwe just because he was used for more, and at the time he was still good for Bounty Hunter, though I just run 4 Bounty Troops now. And other than that, what other ones? Oh yeah, Mythic. Well, for Mythics, most people don't even have enough to upgrade a Mythic. To upgrade a Mythic, you would need 6 spare Nishas, which means you would need to have 9 Nisha total. And almost no one has 9 Nisha total, so for that it's not even really relevant to go over. I would honestly just wait until you have 9 Nisha medals, and then decide what mythic you might want to upgrade. Because by the time you have 9 Nisha medals, what is currently meta right now will likely not be meta. Or at least, obviously, new things would be meta by then, most likely. So it is not advised to spend Nishas on a mythic until you have all the mythics to be able to max it out. Which very few people have, if you're going for 100% chance. Of course, you could try chancing it, but I do not advise that. You waste a lot of resources doing so. I still have yet to get one single mythic upgraded, nor do I plan on anytime soon unless it's required for kingdom upgrades, in which case we're going to grind like crazy, and they will be required, by the way. It has been confirmed in the past, so it hasn't been implemented in the game yet, but it has been confirmed in the past. They are almost guaranteed, which probably means they will, but they are almost guaranteed going to be making post-level 20 kingdom levels require elite levels, To what capacity, we don't currently know. But we'll probably know as of version 5.0, as 5.0 is very likely to expand out that system up to level 30. We got a problem here. That might escape. Okay, good. Wow, we've been getting really good Valraven luck. That's the third time it could have tried to escape, and all 3 times it has yet to hit one. We are very lucky today. Not like we really need the extra sigils, but hey. It'll help with maintaining our top 50. Where even are we right now? Nice, we'll be able to pass those then. Looks like we'll end somewhere around here then. In this area. Seems like everyone who bought this pack is around here. So yeah, somewhere around like the low 200s I think is what we reach, because we definitely have 15 more battles obviously. And within those 15 battles we should find at least 3 Valravens, if not more. So how many more is that compared to where we're at? So yeah, that's going to be at least like a little over 200. So we'll see exactly where. Let's see, is there a big gap in here? I don't think there is. Yes there is actually. So we might be able to reach around 206. It seems like 206 is the max we can get with the current amount of battles we have, assuming Valravens fall exactly the same as theirs. Because it seems like someone who's going higher, who just did a little bit worse or hasn't done all their battles yet. So yeah, if I had to guess, it looks like it is 206 is the max that we're going to hit. So unfortunately that is not top 20, and it wouldn't be worth going another pack to do so. But if nothing else, that should secure us a pretty solid top 50, which will give us 100 gems and an orb by the end of the week. But yeah, we're trying for a leaderboard above 50. Oh, sorry. I forgot to give out code for... Oh, gosh. Let me go hand out code for that. You are correct. I did say when we hit above 50 we would. And we actually did that several battles ago. I didn't double check it since then, which is why I didn't hand out the code. But yeah, let me do that right after this battle. We'll hand out a redeem code. My bad. That was the first time I checked it since I said that. Yeah, we're definitely above 50 right now. Okay, that just dies off. That'll allow Yagwe to hit the next one, luckily killing out the summoner. We'll go throw an essence on last, and then Yagwe cleans the entire team, and that's dead. Hello, G-Double. Let's see. Long-time viewer of your videos, thank you for that. First time watching live, glad you could catch it. We stream every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and lately we've been streaming at around noon on Fridays and Saturdays. Let's see, just wanted to say hi. Well, welcome. And your videos helped you out a lot. Glad I could help. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat, and we'll get around to them live. 50 and a vault key, right? I wish. Oh, gosh, I just clicked on a battle again. Let me go and hand out code in a second. This battle should hopefully not take too long. Take that over. Good, he's already dead. Most annoying thing that would slow down the battle. It's already dead. Go for that. Unfortunately, that's stealthy, so I can't essence it, but now I can. That or double Yagwe if we keep alignment, and we do, and he's dead. She's dead. There we go. That went super quick. There we go. Okay, code time. Code. Oh no, I forgot to mark down the last few. Time to play the guessing game. What code are we up to? Well, I know for sure we handed out AOL, because we made a joke about it on one of the streams. Oh, that's funny. One of them has free to play in it too. F2P. I'm not going to say the rest of it, because I'm not sure if that's actually the next code. It might be the one tonight. Hold up. Oh no, it is actually the next code. Yeah, we're up to the free-to-play code, apparently. It has F2P at the beginning of it. There we go. That's funny. It's just random numbers and letters, but it came out to F2P. Let's see. There you guys go. Here's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com or the game code section. There you guys go. But just click on that link or go to Gems of War under game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu, which is in the bottom left corner. Let me take tribute first. 18, nice. Or technically 19 tribute, 18 gems. But it's in the bottom left corner right here is your invite code. Whatever your game says there is what you put in for invite code. Redeem code's right over there in chat, starting with F2P and all the random letters and numbers. And it gives the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. There you guys go. Enjoy. And as that. Now, back to the monk grind. Let's get the rest of this event done. So we should have about 20-something more battles then. Given that it seems to stop at 206 exactly. Assuming that leaderboard isn't lying to us. Let's see. Also, that'll be an easy way to tell if we're actually went flawless or not as well. I'm pretty sure we have. If we're tied with them or higher than them, we definitely went flawless. But we should be tied with them. It looks like they went flawless as well. Which if you bought that many potion effects, you probably would be. Because obviously the event is quite a bit easier with this much extra stats compared to normal. The event this week's already a bit on the easier side. Assuming you have Yagwe, that is anyways. Might be a little bit harder without it. One other alternative, though, if you happen to not have Yagway but somehow have Dawnbringer, you can actually just do 3 Tulios with Dawnbringer. It ends up working out pretty well. Oh, why did I not take Skull? We could have already won. Luckily, there's nothing to hit us with, and we'll just poke it for the kill. Does the game code work for Xbox or just for PC? Unfortunately, it only works for PC mobile. It does not work on any of the console versions, unfortunately. On what do you spend your deeds on? Magic. Magic is highest priority. As far as the rest of them, I tend to do it based on which factions is best. Which ones I might actually want to farm up. So, for example, if the faction doesn't exist for it yet that I haven't done pure faction for, those are the most enticing for me to upgrade, regardless of what their stat is. And the main reason for this is I would want to go and have additional bonus stats for when we do the event, so that we could try saving some gems. So we might need to go like a potion or 2 less, which would save 200, 400 gems or so. Which starts adding up. Compared to that, we'd eventually upgrade them anyway, so might as well save some gems out of it. But yeah, I tend to only upgrade them based on if they're magic, and if they're not magic, I upgrade them based on is their faction coming around. And if their faction is about to come, or is, you know, already in the game, then that's a good time to go consider upgrading it, so that we can go get the extra stats to run pure faction with when we do it. It also just gives extra stats in general for when we're running through the kingdom, through the faction, but particularly when we're using the pure faction team. But yeah, it's mostly just to help with that. Actually, what is the next faction coming into the game now that I mentioned that? I still have the website up. Might as well go check. The next faction coming into the game is for the kingdom of... It's for the kingdom of... Drifting Sands. So, for example, I would want to prioritize Drifting Sands next. Also, this one doesn't have a link for it yet. But next one is definitely Drifting Sands, as is confirmed right there. So that means we'd want to go and potentially upgrade Drifting Sands soon. If I'm not mistaken, that's a brown kingdom, so I'll probably go for it because I have a lot of excess brown. But that's why I tend to upgrade mine off of. Magic are as highest priority, with second priority being, are they an upcoming faction? And if so, then we do it just so we have a better stats for when we run it, which not only saves time, but can also save us gems, since we won't have to spend as much on the event. Oh, I hate when it explodes purple. Every single battle, 4 of them have a purple on last slots, and like 2 or 3 of them have stealthy on last slot. It's so annoying. Like every single thing mechanic we wouldn't want to have when using this team is what they have there, but it's still worth using. Because it's very rare that that would happen. But anyways, what was I checking? Oh yeah, I want to see if I had Drifting Sands maxed. I don't believe I do. We might be doing it right now, actually. Yeah, it uses brown. We have enough Imperials. Okay, well, let's permanently gain 1 armor. I think we're going to do it. Because Drifting Sands is next Friday, if I'm not mistaken, actually. Or sorry, not next Friday. 2 Fridays from now. Next Friday is Invasion's event. It's our first ever Invasion event on a weekend. But yeah, we'll go for this. Let me just double check, confirm it is Drifting Sands, right? Yep, Drifting Sands. Looks to be so. Oh, it's like a honeycomb thing. That's cute. I like how they did that. I wonder if we're getting bee-like troops. Probably. Actually, we can double check. Are we getting bee-like troops? I would assume so. It's like a honeycomb. What are we getting? Are those bees? Yeah, it kind of looks like a bee. Yeah, we are getting bees. We're getting a whole faction of bees and insects. That's interesting. And the queen bee. Queen Beatrix. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of beetles and bees. Cool. Interesting kind of faction premise. Anyways. Yeah, let's go upgrade Drifting Sands. Also, let me double check that those say Drifting Sands as well. It is Drifting Sands, right? Where's your double typing? Where's your double typing? Does it not show both typings on this page? I never realized that. Okay, well, we saw it was there, so we'll just go and upgrade it. Worst comes to worst, it's a free armor for a Wayne team. But there we go. Another one down. And that ends up giving us an extra armor permanently, 50% extra faction horde level for when we do the faction. And we also get better team bonus whenever we use things from Drifting Sands, which also includes the pure faction, but also includes anything that's Drifting Sands related. But nice. There we go. A little bit of bonuses here and there. And now we permanently have 1 higher armor, which mostly will just help our Wayne. But you never know. That 1 armor could make us not die in Guild Wars. You never know. Yep, insects and poison. Why do I have so many deeds left? Because I'm limited by Imperial. And in case we just randomly get a lot of purple out of nowhere, I want to make sure I have spare Imperials for all the purple kingdoms. I also want to save them for when factions come out. So, for example, once we 100% confirm, know what the faction after this Drifting Sands faction is, which we probably will know in another week or two or so, I will go and upgrade that kingdom as well. Because I want to make sure I do it based on which one I need the Underworld Renown for. Or because it'll save us gems and it'll save us time. Not a really hefty amount, but it'll save us enough that it's worth justifying doing it that way. But my biggest concern is running out of deeds. Maxing out a kingdom from 10 to 15 requires you to do 3 Imperial deeds. And those Imperial deeds are more concerning than pretty much any other resource. Just because they go down pretty quick. Since every single 15 kingdom needs 3 of them. And I'm saving those mostly for 2 things. Like I mentioned, the faction-related kingdoms that are upcoming. As well as any magic kingdom once they get enough purple deeds. Once we have every purple maxed, I'll probably start dumping them a bit more. That or if we get a lot of Imperials out of nowhere. Problem is Imperials are completely luck-based when we get them. Like, there's no consistent way to get Imperials, because saving 1,000 writs for an Imperial is pretty bad value. The only time I might do that is once we have every single purple maxed. But until we have every single purple kingdom maxed, I am not going to be changing my writs to Imperials. And even once I have all purples maxed, I still might not. Just because, worst comes to worst, you can upgrade every kingdom to level 15 with 0 Imperials. Okay, we'll go for that for now. You're disabled there. Throw our Yagway down. Be good to go. Okay, it says 9 battles left, but according to Leaderboard, might be a bit more than 9. Let's see, how many is that left? That means we got 3 Val Ravens, if that's the case. Right? Yeah, there's 3 Val Ravens. Hold up. What does that bring us to? That brings us to 194. And then 194 to that would be 4 Val Ravens. So there's a good chance we're going to find 4 Val Ravens between now and reaching that point. Go, Val Raven. Nope, no Val Raven. Oh, maybe we won't. Did I miss a Val Raven without even noticing it? I'm not sure. Because it's strange that 3 people are at 206. I would assume that there were people who bought those packs that ended up reaching up to that point. We still have plenty of battles left. We might still be getting it. But yeah, that means we'd have to get 4 Val Ravens between now and running out of sigils to be able to reach that point. Which I guess we would have, but that seems like a lot for that small of a gap. Because that means almost every other battle we'd have to get a Val Raven, almost, or every 3rd. Come on, Val Raven, go. Oh, there's one. I'll take that for now. It'll give us double Yagway. Luckily, one all-faction turn, which works out great. Let's see. I'm actually going to grab that. And it gives us alignment, too. How perfect is that? There we go. Good. It didn't explode on purple. Perfect. And he's dead. Luckily, Val Raven doesn't escape. Killed out easily. Nice. Alright, we need 3 more Val Ravens. Yeah, upgrading Horde levels can be very expensive. It can be very, very expensive. Depends what rarity or treasure you use as far as its overall cost. I feel like with the method I use, which I try to do the cost as efficiently as possible, I tend to use about 5 million gold to max out a to level 200. However, I can normally do up to 100 with only 1 million or less. Depends what treasure format you use. Obviously, you would ideally want to use bigger treasures, like Epics, Legends, and Mythics for a post-level 100 leveling. However, you can use it prior if you're still trying to get every kingdom or every faction to 500. I mean, every faction to 100 to get the 500 renown. Well, there are gold farming methods in this game that get upwards of 300,000. There's even some that go upwards of 400,000. like double Cedrics on Explore 12 with Skeleton Key and Egg Thief. But there are several methods that can do over 300,000, like PvP, Cedric teams, sometimes even just Skeleton Key teams in general, depending on where you're using them, as well as factions if you're getting a Cedric room, as well as just running PvP or Explore 12. All can end up giving some amount of over 300,000 per hour. Let's see. Which means if you did it for an hour a day, that's over 2 million gold a week. And most guild requirements are below a 2 million gold requirement. My guild technically only has a 1 million requirement, though it is encouraged to do about 1.5 million. I generally do about 2 million to it. And that's just counting grind and gold too. Of course, you get gold from a bunch of other things throughout the game. Isn't necessarily grind and gold directly. I was gonna say, do we have no option for that? That's kind of weird. But oh well. And dead. There we go. Easy as that. So, where are the 3 Vow Ravens? We need you. That's how many we need to go reach that many battles. Or sorry, we need 4 right now? Hold up. I might have did miscalculation. Is it 3 or 4? I'll find out in a moment. I'll go double check it in another battle or 2. We'll throw Yagoi for nothing. We'll let the other guy get up naturally. Actually, no, we won't. We'll do it that way. Throw that down again. Get our reds there. Hello, Loler. Let's see. You're back from AFK. I don't know if you already answered your question, but if you answered while you were away, can you please repeat? Sorry, what was your question? I probably already answered it, but I forget which question you specifically asked. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to get factions to 200. The only 2 real benefits you get from that is it makes pure faction a bit easier, of course, and it makes the Tuesday event for when it rolls back around a bit quicker. Compared to 100 to 200, you can shave off almost 10 minutes from a Tuesday event when you end up getting that faction. And while that doesn't seem like much, it adds up over time, given that obviously those events will repeat multiple times a year. But how many factions there currently are in the game, I believe it repeats like 2, 3, almost 4 times. However, into the future, it's only going to repeat about twice per year once we have every faction into the game. That's still a while from now. Still, nonetheless, it saves you time over time. And if you had nothing else to directly put it into, it's worth considering. Especially if pure faction hasn't been done for the place already. As for when you finally get around to it, you can get it up a bit better. But generally, most things with delves in general, you tend to not really worry about until much later in the game. Much of it's rather difficult and pretty expensive. It's one of the last few kind of stats that you go for. Of all the stats in the game, the lowest priority is probably doing getting more from factions. While they do add up to be an okay amount of extra stats. I believe it's currently, what, 4 armor, 4 HP, 2 attack, and 1 magic is what I believe is the payout right now for having max renown. But it's not that much compared to other things within the game. Like, that's pretty much the equivalent of 11 kingdoms going and being upgraded to their next objective. Which more often than not is easier than getting that much renown. When Mythics has been put into the game, and what was the highest rarity 3 years ago? Oh, Mythics were put into the game about 3 years ago, actually, oddly enough. The highest rarity prior to then was Legends. At one point in the game, cap level was actually 10, then it was 15, and then with Mythic rarity, it got increased to 20. But I believe that was about 3.5 years ago. War was the ever first Mythic in the game, because Gems of War, we got the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse as our first 4 Mythics. But yeah, that was a while ago. But yeah, Mythics used to not be a thing for the first year and a half of the game. They were mostly added as a end game objective. And then the most noteworthy thing that they're probably used for in the current state of the game, other than teams obviously, is they are required for level 10 kingdoms, which locks a stat for every single kingdom. 34 stats are locked behind level 10 all kingdoms. And it requires to own the mythic for each kingdom. Some kingdoms have multiple, so it's you only need to own one of the two. But it is required to get any kingdom to level 10, which gives one whole additional stat. Which of course is permanent. Okay, where's our last little thing? I'll take that for now. War, what is it good for? I know, right? War is actually pretty bad. He's both bad and it's a funny reference. Okay, I don't think we're gonna hit 206. Not sure how they did. Almost guarantee we didn't miss any. I'm like near 100% certain. Because it seems like we're 3 Val Ravens away. And I don't think we're gonna get 3 Val Ravens within that gap. Could just be that multiple people decided just to stop at 206. You never know. See ya, Yaney. Catch you later. How do you not have full mana? Luckily the other one does. That work. Doesn't matter which one. I should report them just to be sure. Report what? Oh, you mean the people on Leaderboard? No. I didn't even realize I answered Loller's question without even noticing. But yeah, War was the first mythic I ever added to the game. Let's see. Also, if anyone else has any other questions I missed, let me know. Trying to read through, just trying to see if I missed any. Also, hello, Chad. Not sure if I said hi, but welcome, welcome. Hope your weekend has been going well. Hope all of you've been staying safe from the virus. Will you buy more packs to stay in the top 50? No. I'm not going to bother contesting top 50. If we move out of top 50, that's fine. It's only 25 gems compared to top 100 compared to top 50. As long as we make top 100, which we should easily be able to do with what we have. I'm not too concerned about making top 50. Are Valravens not governed by any amount of RNG? They somewhat are. They have a weird formula for them that is like partially RNG and partially not RNG. However, you're generally going to be getting the same exact amount as everyone else. However, this can actually vary. It's really weird how they're set up because it's a combination of RNG and consistency. I'm not sure if we know the exact formula for how they work, but they're a combination of both RNG and not RNG. It's really weird. Like, it's not completely luck-based, but it has, like, a partial aspect of luck-based, which mostly just makes sure that every single person gets about the same amount, though it could still make it so people get different amounts. But, okay, we only need one more Valraven, so that math looks better. But yeah, we might actually be able to get it then. If we can find one Valraven within 4 battles, which is pretty likely by the 4th battle, because they tend to have a threshold in which you would automatically get one. Yeah, it does look like we'll end at the exact same amount, which is generally how Valravens work. More often than not, every single person that does the same amount of battles will get the same amount of Valravens. However, where exactly they fall is a little bit different, depending on random factors. Which makes it a lot, it makes it definitely possible that you'll be 2 off from someone due to an entire Valraven, but very rarely will you be off more than that compared to someone else. And it really depends where the luck factor places it. Like, for example, we could do 3 more battles and not get it, but then our following battle would 100% be a Valraven after that. There it is. We got it. But there's our Valraven. And I just saw there's only like a 2 battle gap between it, where sometimes it's a 3 battle gap, sometimes it's a 4 battle gap, so on and so forth. And it varies by game mode. Obviously, the gap is much larger for things like delves, because there's so many battles. Yeah, the biggest issue in the United States is there's almost no testing going on for it. Like, if I wanted to get tested for the virus, or anyone in my family or anything, like, we'd have no way of getting tested. Not to mention, I believe they're charging for it right now. And no one in my household has any insurance. Let's see. I'll take that for now. Grab our browns. I think I'm gonna go for essence. I should have done that on last thought though, but oh well. Get the kill a bit quicker there. And then poke to poke will kill. It's probably a bad idea giving it red because it's guaranteed gonna get a full AoE on us, but we have barrier on everything, so it's actually gonna do 0 damage. It's not too big a deal. And one more poke will kill. Oops, I meant to do that on green. Mistakes are made. That definitely meant to go on green. At this point, it might just be easier getting a skull. There we go. But yeah, that should be all the Valravens we need then. 3 more battle. Oh, sorry, we still need 1 more Valraven. I was thinking 2 of 4. Never mind, we still need to find 1 more Valraven within 3 battles. Oh no! Valraven, where are you? Well, we just got 1 battle with 1. So this battle was almost guaranteed not going to have 1. However, every battle here forth does have a chance for it. Hopefully we'll get it before we run out of sigils. Go do that on green and hope we get alignment, which we do not, so I'm just going to waste that. Hopefully it doesn't backfire too much. Grab that for now. Yeah, class events have the worst payout of any game mode in the game. They've been notoriously bad for payout as far as what they give. It's one of the reasons why I say generally don't spend gems on these events. So I wanted to power level the new hero class since it was pretty decent. But they're normally pretty bad value. Just because they have the worst payout of any event. Okay, no Valraven here. We need a Valraven on next battle. There's a possibility it's on that other battle. So here's where the RNG aspect kind of comes into play. Because we don't know if it's on the first battle or on the other battle. But one of those 2 battles guarantee has a Valraven. We just don't know which one. Let's hope it's the first one. I should have done the bigger battles first, just in case it didn't give it to us. Not that big a deal, because we're going to get more battles tomorrow. That we can make sure to do that correctly with. But if you have a limited amount of sigils where you're not going to be able to complete all 5 of these, you should do the bigger ones first, and then do the smaller ones. But anyways, let's hope this has Valraven. The other one might have been the one, though. No, the other one was the one. Okay, so I believe we didn't miss any Valravens, but we just happened to, just gotten bad RNG there. This will probably be fixed by tomorrow, because our next battle is guaranteed Valraven. But, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I'm almost guaranteed we have not lost a Valraven yet. Like, I'm near 100% certain on that. So it's probably just bad RNG on which one we got. Because it was either going to be this first room or the final room. And apparently it was the final room. Not too big a deal, though. But there we go. And that brings us all the way at right here, tied with this other person. And the only reason we're 5 lower is because they did the bigger battles and we did not. But yeah, it looks like this person bought the exact same packs as us and did Deathless as well. And got max score. Only reason ours looks lower is because we didn't do the extra points that we get from that one. Which would have been a 5 difference, which is the exact amount of points we're missing. Because he did these 4, whereas we did these 4. I mean, both just got unlucky in not getting that Valraven. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we bought the same amount of packs and did the same amount of everything correctly. It just RNG made it so that these people got the Valraven, and RG made it so we didn't get the Valraven for these two right here. Like, here's an obvious loss, because it should be divisible by 2. Any of them that aren't definitely ended up losing, like that 205, assuming it did all its battle, or that 203. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're still flawless. We just happen to have gotten bad Valraven at the end there. Not too big a deal, because we still have 4 more sigils. So not like even matters much, because getting a few higher position there isn't actually even going to matter at all, because that likely will not be the difference between making top 100 or not. It might be the difference between top 50 by the end of tomorrow, but how much of a lead we have right now? It might not be. We're in 33rd. Technically 32nd, tied 32nd. And theoretically, assuming Valravens go exactly the same, we should be the same as these people. Actually, I'm going to screenshot them just so we can compare it to it tomorrow. But we should be aligned with those people. Like, we could be tied with these. Even though we're not tied with them now, due to how Valravens fall, there's a good possibility we'll actually be tied with them tomorrow. But anyways, hopefully we'll get better Valraven luck tomorrow. And for top 50, we would need currently only 172. We're at 204. And for top 100, which is the main one I want to make sure I get, we're in a hefty lead. We only need 120 currently. We're more like 121. And we currently have 204. So that'll work. But anyways, that is that. Next order of business, I guess, is just mess around with leveling this a bit, as we always just save our dailies for nighttime, though there isn't really anything interesting on dailies other than Guild Wars first thing tonight. But I guess we'll go gain another monk level, and probably call it a stream for now, because I really need to rest my head. I'm not sure why, but this headache is just really bothering me today. I hope it goes away by tonight, and definitely by tomorrow. What are you supposed to do for headaches? I should probably look that up. I haven't had a headache in such a long time. I almost feel like I need an ice pack for it. It's not hot, though, so it's not like fever or anything. It better not be. If my temperature goes up, the first thing I'll think is coronavirus. No, my temperature has been decent, though. Though I say that, I haven't actually taken my temperature at all. But it definitely doesn't feel high. Caffeine? Really? I don't think I have any caffeine in the house. Actually, yes, I do. I ended up getting a new sparkling water, because it didn't seem to have any of like the really negative things in it. It's by Coke, actually, oddly enough. It's called AHA, A-H-A, and it's actually not that bad. It lacks a bit of flavor, because it doesn't have any of those artificial sweeteners or fake sugars or anything. But they're not bad. And one of them specifically has caffeine. I was even talking about it the other day, too. They actually have 2 really interesting flavors, which I was actually mentioning a couple weeks ago, that this should exist. And then just magically it existed. It came out in March. It came out literally 2 weeks ago. But it's a sparkling green tea, as well as a sparkling water apple cider. Both were things that I was mentioning the other week. And then they just existed. It was nice. I didn't even realize they were a thing. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's a company that just made it. Now that I say that, I almost want to go get one now. I'll be back. 1 minute. Or some good herbs. Yeah, I should probably go make up a actual green tea thing. I do have the bags for it right now. Not gonna do that like right now though on stream, but I'll probably have to later. Probably hope. But for now, this is the quickest fix we have. Yeah, it's literally a sparkling water. A sparkling water green tea. Interesting combination, to say the least. Okay. Anyways, I'll take that. It's not hard seltzer. Isn't that alcoholic? It's definitely not alcoholic. Aren't seltzer and sparkling water two completely different things? Even though they're normally compared a lot to each other. Oh, so hello, Isabel. Welcome. Is it a migraine or just a headache? I'm not sure. What's the difference? It's like a throbbing on the left side of my head. It's a hangover. It's not a hangover. I don't ever drink. Last time I had anything even remotely alcoholic was when I went to a melting pot a couple months back, and even then that wasn't even like drinking, because it was just used as an ingredient in something, and it mostly got cooked out like any alcohol that was even in it. Because some of them were beer battered and some of them were wine based, or some of them were not battered, but some of them were beer based and some of them were wine based. But it gets cooked out pretty much entirely. Which reminds me, I need to go food shopping again soon. I wonder what the shelves look like in my stores. I kind of want to go to the toilet paper aisle just to see no toilet paper. Is that actually a thing? I know in some areas it has been. Also heard hand sanitizers have been like bought like crazy. I still have some spares that I use whenever I travel. Really? No toilet paper? That's weird. Why is everyone buying so much toilet paper of all things? I still don't understand that. Like, it probably takes me a month to go through like 2 rolls or something. Like, 1 roll could probably last me 2 weeks, if not longer. Toilet paper gets you drunk. Everything gets you drunk. Yeah, there's plenty of other ways you can do alternative toilet paper. A woman used more toilet paper. My mom was even considering making a garden again, just so we don't have to worry about fruits. Or vegetables, I mean, not fruits. I used to have fruit trees when I was younger, though. Yeah, she hasn't done a garden for ages, and she's been wanting to. Not sure she's actually going to. Never been much of a gardener myself, but if safe food is safe food, might as well. Hey, garden like an Animal Crossing. Really? Veggies are like the only thing people aren't buying? I need to go buy up veggies then. Is there a reason why they're not? Oh yeah, I guess because they're a little bit more temporary, but still. Naps are good for headache. I might need to go for a nap soon then. What level are we at right now? We'll keep going till we get 78. Did we still not get 78? Where are we at right now on it? We're almost there, but yeah, we'll go till we get 78. Do bells grow on your trees in the garden? That's funny. That's an Animal Crossing reference. There's a funny thing in Animal Crossing where money actually does grow in trees. They have literal money trees. I'm not sure how you make one, but they do exist. And it has been confirmed for the new Animal Crossing as well, that you can plant money trees. How you do so, I actually do not currently know. I believe it's relatively hard to. You can't do it till later in the game, because it requires a few things and a lot of money to actually plant a money tree. But they do exist, oddly enough. I believe they're rather redundant, though, because there's a lot of ways to make money in Animal Crossing. Normally, all you have to do is just deprive the land of every natural resource and you'll be fine on money. Just catch every insect and every bug in sight. And you have all the money you ever need. Because those infinitely spawn. For the most part. Whereas things like the money tree, I believe, is a daily thing. Am I planning on becoming a billionaire? I don't know, I might. It's been confirmed that the stock market is being added back into the Animal Crossing. So I might play the stock market a little bit for fun. And when I say stock market, there's a character that sells turnips. And basically you use the turnips like stocks. And on some days he sells them and buys them for cheaper amounts or for higher amounts. And basically it's like a little mini stock market in the game. I'm not sure if I'll bother with that too much though. Because you sometimes have to wait like days or weeks to cash out on that. Because obviously you would sell for more than what you paid for, and it might take days before that happens. But then it ties up all your money in game and during that duration, which generally in early game you would not want to do, because you need every single one of those to pay off your debts. I already got like a whole game plan planned. Like when Thursday night gets here, we are going to like hardcore be Animal Crossing until I pass out probably. Walmart managers cannot order water, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, and several other things for their stores. That's unfortunate. The Walmart home office is delegating which stores receive those items, because that's where I normally go for shopping. There's a Walmart within walking distance of my place. It's less than a mile away. If places start running out of water, I might need to start finding alternative waters. That or get a purifier. But I don't really trust the water in my area that much, even with a purifier. But obviously, if it meant life or death, obviously I'll drink tap water. South Carolina water tastes fine. I wouldn't say so. The piping in my area where I'm at right now is rather dated. And while some areas might be a little bit more up to date, I don't feel like this area is. I know New Jersey water where I used to live tasted way better than South Carolina tap water. If nothing else, I could always boil it and make it into tea. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it. Just to boil away anything that bad that might be in it. And then tea to actually make it have flavor. Because I have plenty of tea bags. Not to mention they're probably perfectly stocked in every store. I highly doubt that has ran out. Not everyone drinks tea. Yeah, I don't have months worth of food. I have enough food that I could probably last the rest of the month at the house right now. But I definitely do not have infinite food. If nothing else, can go on a little bit of fasting. As long as you eat like a small something here and there. I have gone days without eating before, multiple times. Not even like deliberately. I was just like, oh, I'm not hungry today. I'm just not going to eat anything today. I know, I need to lose some pounds anyways. I've already gained up to like 210 right now. I want to get at least under 200 again. Actually, it's funny. My dad used to be like 220 or so. He actually recently got below 200. Yeah, I kind of like inversed his weight, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I haven't really seen much for food shortages around where I live. Like, I haven't seen anyone who's really having an issue with it yet. But of course, in time, that could change. But yeah, if people aren't buying out vegetables and they're still getting made, might just stick with vegetables then. And just make sure to thoroughly wash them before you do anything with them. Because if vegetables still keep coming, I could live off of just vegetables. And fruits. Let's see, we'll grab that. I know, you should always wash them, obviously. But I mean more thoroughly than normal. Yes, obviously you always wash your vegetables. I am aware. That'd be kind of weird not doing so. I sometimes even watch the outside of packaging. Like, for example, if you wonder why it took me so long to get this drink, I'm always so paranoid with these things, these cans, even though it's in a sealed container and everything, that they might have like dust or other things like in the little cracks, that I wash it off, dry it with a little towel thing, and then make sure it's like thoroughly cleaned on the outside because I'll be putting my mouth up to it. I do that even when it's not coronavirus. But now I do it even more paranoidally, just in case. But I would do that even if it wasn't a virus. I'm such a germaphobe, so that's kind of beneficial at a time like this. If there is any good time to be a germaphobe, it is during a virus pandemic. I wash my hands even when it's not a pandemic, like at least 8 times a day, if not more. I do it before and after I eat. Well, I do it in the morning, before and after any meal of anything. I even wash my hands after I shower. Obviously, anytime after the bathroom. And sometimes just randomly, because why not? They feel dirty. I'll take that for now. So did we ever gain that level? We have not. That level is taking like 1 billion years, gosh. He does not want to give us that level. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be helping the headache much. I'll probably just brew up some hot tea later. Hopefully that will help. Hot tea with honey. Hot tea with honey, the solution to try to fix everything. It works for quite a few things. Because it's warm caffeine and has the benefit of honey. in whatever herbals or in whatever tea you choose. Normally I go for green tea, but depending on my mood, I'll switch it up a bit. Also, I do find it funny that we have a hero class. During coronavirus, we have a hero class that comes out, has the most amount of immunities in the game, with the most amount of cleanse and everything. It's basically the most immune to stats effects in the game. Someone made a joke about it on the videos. I was thinking of that even prior to that. I should have mentioned it during the video, but it was a pretty funny joke. Yeah, it is the most immune thing in the game during coronavirus. They obviously didn't plan that at all. It just happened to happen that way. Purple attack team suggestions, pretty much anything around Wild Queen. If you don't have Wild Queen, basing around Elamogrim could work. If you don't have that, basing around Queen Titania can work. Those are your biggest options, probably. Other than that, Skull Spam. There's plenty of things. Purple has, I believe, the highest amount of Skull Spam of any color. So building some variant of a Skull Spam team would be your next best bet. But those are pretty much most of the options you have. Try Panadol Ultra, best tabs for headaches. I'll look into it. I'll probably be shopping tomorrow, since I won't be streaming or anything in the morning. So I'll keep an eye out for it when I go there. But I'm gonna check out that Walmart. I have been food shopping since then, but ever since like everyone's been mentioning like everything going off the shelf, I haven't actually, because the last time I went food shopping was when I got my ID. Which was, what, 5 days ago? And since then, I haven't been out. But yeah, I'm actually going to walk to the Walmart, I guess, tomorrow. And see how the shelves actually look. See what kind of foods are still available. Stock up a bit on frozen stuff, if nothing else. What do we even grab here? Let's just go for that for now. There we go. There's our monk level. 78. Nice. Well, still got 20 to go. A little ways to go, but we'll get there. Still trying to slowly repair our gems back to 20. And it's definitely not going to go back to next week. Because even when we get it on Monday, we're going to have to spend for the Monday event, which is raids? Yeah, raids. Because it can't be invasions. Oh, no, it's not. Neither. It's the new event, duh. The new event. Oh, so, never mind. We're going to spend even more. I forgot, duh. We're going to be spending a lot into the new event. Because I'm going to buy all the way to tier 6, most likely. Oh, I forgot about that. That's going to cost like 1,000-something gems. And then on Friday, we're going to spend like another 250 gems. Because we're going to buy up to the weapon for the other event. Because it's likely going to be a new weapon, potentially, for the invasions. And if not, maybe we won't go as much into it. Maybe I'll try doing it for free and see how far we can actually do. Since we have yet to do free on the new invasions. Because the first, next week's Friday is going to be the first time we ever have it like that. But, yeah, we'll try and see what happens. But yeah, I forgot, we're going to spend a lot of gems next week. We spent 2,850 yesterday throughout this weekend. We're going to spend like 1,000-something on Monday. And then I'm not sure how much I'll spend for the invasions because we don't know what the scale of it is yet. But probably spend up to 250 on that. That should be enough. It's European Tylenol. Well, I have Tylenol in the house. I generally try to stay away from medication when I can. If there's like a more natural way of going about it, I generally go for that instead. I'm not like ultra paranoid about medicine, but I'm cautious enough that unless it's like absolutely mandatory, I generally don't. It's because I hate how many side effects things have. And normally the side effects aren't worth what it actually helps fix if you can do it by other means. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. I'll be back in 6 hours from now, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be obviously doing Guild War for today. I believe it is Brown Guild War Day. And I'll be messing with that, doing our dailies, probably farming up this hero class to 79 or 80. And going from there, slowly getting this thing to 100. But yeah, as far as other things, don't forget, you still have the class event going through the rest of this weekend. We have Leprechaun that you can get 500 extra gold for, going all the way to St. Patrick's Day, which is the 17th. Of course, Sunday nights we'll go over all the things that are coming out next week. Monday will be our first ever event for the new system, so we'll be going over that in depth on Monday. And other than that, the only other relevant thing is next Friday is going to be our first ever invasion weekend, and we'll be playing an Animal Crossing a bunch then for the few people that might interest. We'll be starting it at midnight on Thursday night. That also means that I'm not sure exactly what time we'll be streaming on Friday, but we'll still be doing a Gems of War stream, obviously doing invasions on Friday. Just not sure what time it'll end up being because Animal Crossing hype, but I'll be doing both that day. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Of course, I'll still be going over invasions on Monday as well. So the team will still be out, even if I'm still streaming something else. The teams will be up on the video on Monday. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. And we'll be back in about 6 hours, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we are every night. Goodbye, everyone.